Now this is going to be an interesting run today, because I'm using quite the interesting weapon. IceCrossbow. Sort of a combination of two different weapons, the ice bow and the heavy crossbow. Just all depends on how long you're holding down that attack button. Tap it, ice bow. Hold down, heavy crossbow. I mean, it's not quite the exact same thing. I do think it's a little bit slower than the ice bow, and I do think that the spread of bullets or arrows, projectiles from the heavy crossbow shot is actually a little bit tighter, making it easier to hit with every single one of the arrows. However, you know, you also don't get the survival scaling, you also don't get the damage reduction that you would from the ice bow, so it definitely is its own sort of weapon. And I think the really interesting thing about it is the fact that I almost never use it for any reason. Maybe as an emergency source of crowd control, just so I can get some of that amazing freezing on enemies, but aside from that, heavy crossbow has gone pretty unnoticed by me. So I think that this is going to be interesting just because we'll see if this weapon is truly good, bad, mediocre. I have no idea. I mean, it'll be a learning experience for me this time, I'll say that. Yeah, sure. I do think that getting this weapon to work, it's obviously going to be a lot of tactics, so one of the best things to take with tactics is a big old turret-based run, or turret-based build, and the 100% on burning target, as well as the inflammable oil. It's going to go a long way to help that. I mean, this weapon obviously does have a very clear sort of, let's say, combo that you can use. You know, you just tap, freeze the enemy, and then hold it down to do your big attack, and that's kind of how you're going to be dealing with most everything, except for maybe, I don't know, bosses or something. Which will gain resistance to freezing a little too quick to make that effective, at least for long. Aside from that, also just getting stuff that maybe synergizes a bit with freezing, something like a... Well, I mean, if I managed to get the plus 175% on frozen targets, that would be amazing, but I don't even know if that's possible. Dodging creates a toxic cloud. I think that's actually, like, written a little differently than it used to be. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I don't even know if it's possible to get the, like, the plus 175% on frozen target with IceCrossbow, because that would be almost always active. Yeah. But if I got that on something like, I don't know, a crusher or maybe some sort of second weapon, that would be a pretty good combination. This is also maybe the one weapon that you could effectively use the plus 100% damage dealt and taken, because the freezing will help avoid some of the worst parts of that, even though you are going to be pretty low on health for this entire run. That's just the nature of run tactics. I don't know, there's a few different options, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to go with. I suppose it'll just have to strike me as it comes. As of right now, I think that well, with the exception of maybe the electric whip, that's not all that great. The two turrets I'm working with, though, synergize quite well just even by themselves. I think that I could probably get quite far in this run just throwing down the flamethrower turret and the heavy turret and calling it a day. But hey, if nothing else, the IceCrossbow does introduce the ability to have enemies be, you know, moving slowly due to the whole thaw mechanics, so that'll help in the dodging game, at least. I don't know, there's a lot of things to think about, a lot of different things to consider. Really, to be honest, I've never been a huge fan of the heavy crossbow, and even though this works a little like a somewhat improved version of that, I wouldn't really say it's... that was close. And even those works a little bit like an improved version because it is easier to connect with all the shots. I still just don't really like the whole trying to hit a bunch of arrows into a target, which is weird because I'm a big fan of damage over time, but I don't know, it's easier to coerce enemies into a bunch of fire than it is... I'm actually going to take this just for the health right now. It's easier to coerce a bunch of enemies into fire than it is into, you know, waiting there while you wind up the perfect shot. Alright. And come on. Also, I would say that getting... Oh, whoa, hey, guys. I would say that getting Good. Piercing targets is almost essential for this sort of weapon. And it is pierce the first target, but I would prefer piercing all targets, because the ability to get that is just too good to ignore. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to get me any sort of massive amount of damage on a lot of enemies at once. Or at least a massive amount of freeze. I don't know, something. It's questionable. Aside from that, maybe like, yeah, the cudgel here could be pretty good. The ability to, not only having that extra damage reduction to get as much out of the pool of health that I'm working with as possible. Also, I guess a little bit of knockback could work. Also, having the stun time could help a lot as far as being able to line up the substantial wind-up time required to actually get the heavy crossbow shot out. And I think that that's probably going to be the thing that kills me more than anything else in this run, which is why I'm not going to be too afraid of buffing out my damage with a little bit of turret action here. Because that wind-up time is quite prohibitive, especially for a tactics weapon, which there's so many good options that don't require you to sit still for a second. And that's another one of the reasons why I never really use this weapon too much. I don't know. Again, it's going to be... I'm going to see what I can try, and hopefully everything doesn't just die to turrets immediately. I mean, bosses certainly won't, so that, more than anything else, will be the real test of what this is. 100% on burning is obviously a very good one right now. Is obviously a very good affix to get right now, but I do think that if I could maybe grab... I don't know, enemies are frozen for longer, you know, they're harder to thaw out. Enemies take bleed damage for a little bit of extra damage too. I'm not entirely sure what happened to that tracker down there. It looked like he just flew around in an S shape for a second. That was... oh, this is the worst thing! I don't have very good crowd control right now. Just on single targets. Or like a very few number of targets. But yeah, bleeding would be good for a little bit of extra damage along with this. Extra long thaw time would be... ooh. I'm going to keep the one I got right now, just because I think I'd rather have that cudgel. And also don't have the inflammable oils spreading there, so... I'd like to get as much out of that as possible as well. Yes, maybe extra ammunition would be alright, because I'm probably going to run out of that pretty quick. 28,000, okay. Man, I don't know, it's kind of weird to think about that. Sort of it is a weapon that excels at being a jack of all trades and a master of none. At least that's always how I kind of thought about it. Who knows, maybe by the end of this I'll change my tune to an extreme degree. Sure. I just like to keep that minus 75% on projectile targets, if nothing else. The bleeding, if I manage to get bleeding from from targets that I freeze, that could also be good for maybe setting up a damage over time run along with the flamethrower turret that I'm working with right now. Hard to say. Aside from that, I guess I should really be opening up just about everything I do with with the freeze target affix, just because that is probably going to be the best thing I get out of this. I'm getting so much damage out of the turrets that I'm working with right now that... yeah, sure, just for the extra health, if nothing else. I'm getting so much damage out of the turrets right now that using this almost solely for the freezing might not be a terrible strategy either, so I don't know. Nah. Sure, for the extra... I don't really need that much health, at least early game. I feel like I'm probably going to get some extra brutality in some fashion. Maybe upgrading the flamethrower turret. Really like to know how somebody landed an arrow in the head of a corpse there. shooting an electric whip at him, but sure, why not? I mean, what's the actual damage I'm getting right now? 1175. I'll have to, at some point, compare that to another range, any sort of ranged weapon that I find, because I'm not entirely sure what the DPS stacks up when you compare the various weapons. Interesting. Aside from that, is there any, like, good mutation that could work with this? Extra damage when I'm near turrets would probably be alright. Double your ammunition would be good. I guess as of right now, always go with the old standby of getting extra cooldown reduction. I'll never regret taking that, after all. There's no downside. There's never any downside to that. That's why it's always so good. Ooh, this could also be a good chance to get a bunch of curse chests as well, because there's no way that I should be getting hit by curse if I am freezing all of my enemies, or, starting out every single battle with a freeze. Especially if I'm working with some powered up turrets, so I don't know, it feels like a good idea. We'll see how that actually plays out, and if I have to redo this run almost immediately. I don't know. Anyway, because I constantly forget about this weapon is dropped by the Timekeeper, along with another... Oh boy, that's not boding too well. But along with another ice-based weapon, the Ice Shards? What's it actually called? I don't know. I always thought that was kind of weird, because she definitely doesn't use ice-based... Okay, Breach was at least good there. She definitely doesn't use ice-based attacks, and oh man, for real. Also, for real. Yeah, I'm getting less and less impressed with damage over time here. Not with damage over time, but with the damage I'm getting over the course of this run. Oh my god, everything's just going wrong. Oh, this is quickly turning into Salty Run, and I don't like that. But anyway, well, hey, if nothing else, freeze targets and just let my turrets do the work. I don't necessarily have to charge this up every single time, although I feel a little disingenuous not doing that. This isn't the IceCrossbow run, after all. But yes, I never really understood that. Why does she drop a bunch of mutations and then 2 ice-based weapons? I don't even think, like, the various lore rooms that have added since then have answered that. Kind of a weird thing. There are also very specific special sorts of, very specific usage special ice-based weaponry. Like, the Ice Splinter does not actually freeze enemies, and the IceCrossbow is this weird... What's the actual damage like? Around 69, nice. DPS for 1.5 seconds. It's not bad. Victims burn, plus 100% on poison targets. Shots pierced too? No, I'm not going to take it. I just don't think it's... I think I would rather have the little mini breaches that the heavy turret causes, as well as a larger, big punch, because I think that'll be a little bit more effective as far as getting synergies with ice goes, if nothing else. Yeah, would have frozen him anyway. Alright, guys, get out of here, get out of here. Yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing that this is like a survival weapon that you're supposed to use with tactics. Really should probably be a split sort. I think I'd get a lot more use out of that if this was a sort of alternative to the heavy crossbow rather than in a completely different sort of use case. I don't know. Kind of hard to say, but it really does feel like it would be more of a split weapon rather than pure tactics anyway, because you have so many good options for tactics, so it's hard to justify taking this over. For real. Also, larger range would help too, but that's maybe asking a little too much. Well, the other thing, too, is that I haven't seen all of the various... I'm doing a showcase run. I can do a little bit of fishing. I haven't seen all of the various lore room, so maybe there is something that explains why the Timekeeper has a fascination with ice or something. Or maybe they just created two different types of weapons and they just needed some place to put it. And turrets have greater range than my ice crossbow. Oh well. Anyway, it's kind of a curious thing too. It's okay. Well, yeah. Now here's a good comparison. 3913 versus 1787. Oh my god, that's so much less. Even if it's easier to hit with all of the shots, that's pretty bad, dog. Oh, I don't like that at all. I will take this though. I guess it's the idea that you're really supposed to use it as a supplementary type weapon, and maybe I should be looking at doing that in this run. Not try to use it as primary source, but oh, that would mean that I would almost get no usage out of the whole secondary shot of this at all. But I guess, hey, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles, isn't it? Too bad. But, like, you understand what I'm saying, though. That's really bad comparatively. Because I could easily just go pick that up right now and... You know, I'll save that for a little bit of curse reduction maybe in the future. I still got some cell doors open. Yeah, I could pick this up right now. In fact, I'm just going to pick this up right now. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Themed weaponry. I'm ready. 175% on frozen target. You have... This feels like a really bad idea, but I'm going to try it anyway. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, give me a little bit of malaise reduction, please. Both? No, just the one. That's fine, that's fine. Heart will protect me in either case of death anyway, so I don't need to necessarily be at full health at all points in time. Alright. Not bad. It's just... It already feels like a much better combination. And of course, the most unfortunate thing is that this would be so much better if I just was using an ice bow instead. Oh. Oh well. As it is, it's not too bad of a combination as of right now. Maybe I'll look at mixing this up a little bit later. Ah, I didn't quite get the free synergy in there. Ooh, what do you got? I like what I'm working with right now. Alright, so what else am I actually looking for? All the rest of the curse chest, because I think that's going to be super useful with this combination that I'm working with right now. I suppose we'll have to see. Another thing is that this is the only weapon of this type. Closest thing is like Nerves of Steel, except that's just light damage versus heavy damage, and it's more of a little bit of a game to actually hit it proper rather than... I'll take the extra health right now. More of a little bit of a game to actually hit it proper rather than it being an alternate form of attack or anything. Fine, how about this then? Cool. It reminds me a lot of the old Bloodborne trick weapons where you were able to transform one to another. I mean, I definitely like this concept. I just think that it could use a little bit of a buff to make it more competitive with other tactics-based weaponry. Or just making it split, I think, would help a lot with... would take it pretty far as well, as far as having the... making it competitive as a ranged weapon. I don't know, but ooh, interesting. Interesting enough that I'm actually going to replace my flamethrower turret. I like the look of that. Freeze victims. If it had frost synergy as well as fire synergy, maybe. Well, those are kind of competing, so maybe not that exactly, but you see the sort of... this is terrible. But you see the sort of idea that I'm going for here. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I don't hate this. I just don't really feel like it's quite the run that I would be looking for. I don't know. But yeah, to get a better look at like the actual spread, there's a spread of that. There's a spread of that. should be using it pretty close range either way because the drop-off is quick. But IceCrossbow definitely does have an advantage in that. No. In terms of that. How much health would I actually lose? Only about 300, so I'll take it for the time being. We'll see. Okay, I just want to make sure that those guys aren't going to be there the second that I walk out of the door. And I mean, they will now, but, huh. Guess we're going survival this run now. Interesting. Alright, good. Also, what? The explosion of that thing didn't count? Oh, boy. Oh, that could have been bad. That was not nearly as bad. Aha. Alright, that's okay, that's okay. The other thing, too, is that I will be able to upgrade that a little bit. Maybe get a little bit better affixes on there, because I have a lot more potential affixes to get now. I don't know. Hey, if it's possible to take a colorless version of the weapon du jour, why not take it? Oh boy. Oh, cool. That works too. Alright, alright. Is there anything else that I might be able to get? Oh, there's no way that I would be able to afford another potion charge, which is too bad because I could really use that, but I don't know. Well, I guess let's check out the boss here. I'm probably gonna go more with the heavy crossbow synergy than the ice crossbow, but who knows? Ooh, I can upgrade this stuff. Yeah, cool. And then those things will benefit from a lot of tactics, and I'll just go survival for the rest of the stuff to see. I don't know, that kind of feels like a bad idea because I have committed to tactics so hard right now. But at the same time, that is largely coming from the equipment that I'm working with, so it's not terrible. Yet. Ammunition, I think, is probably going to be the best thing that I got going on here. Well, let's check it out. What do we got? What do we got? Give me something good. Prison warden, personally charged. He might still be charged with it. Ooh, I don't know. That's complete speculation as far as lore goes. But it feels like kind of what they were going for. Ah, clipped me. Too bad. Oh, come on. Yeah, I can just time it. Should have went with the... Should have went with the frost there. Got a little too greedy. And that's really the only way that the concierge seems to get me anymore. Getting me in the corner like that. There's no Patrick Swayze to save me from that fate this time. What I got? Ah, Swift Sword. Interesting. Maybe if it... I mean... Nah, if it had, like, Frost Synergy, maybe I would consider that. But I don't think right now that's a good take. Especially with that, with extra damage being taken. I'm already living on the edge with the lack of damage reduction that I have right now. Alright, well, at least I'm down. I mean, I would have died from the malaise anyway after getting hit that many times, so this isn't the worst thing possible. I can deal with it. Give me instead... Let's go Alienation. Yeah. And I guess hit up the... I do not like my chances against all of the corpse worms are going to come out if I go down to the Stilt Village, so I think Slumbering Sanctuary could be a little bit better. We'll see. Just remember to freeze any enemy that gets in my way. And do not get hit too much here. Man, it's kind of terrible to think that I have a tactics-based run, and I am... Ooh. It's a lot of extra damage to be taken, though. Does really give me some of that good, fire synergy, though. Do I really want to go full glass cannon, though? Yeah, I'll just replace the heavy crossbow with some damage reduction again soon enough. I'm already playing with fire. I don't need to add to that with a firebrand. That was almost a pun. There we are. At least I'll get back up to full health doing this. Ah, I should have hit him with a crossbow. That would have gotten me that good frost synergy. But that's fine too. That's fine too. I think I'd rather be safe than sorry here. I'm only halfway through the run. I would really prefer not having to start this over right now. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely before I get into the castle, I'm gonna have to get some extra form of damage reduction because this is not gonna fly with only 2,000 health. Ooh, it's a bad. It's not going to help me. Let's just go with that, I guess. Oh, okay. Ah, come on. Did I manage to kill him with the... Wow, that was close. I don't know if I could have killed that guy. I mean, you seen how fast those guys can kick when they're elites? It's kind of crazy. Okay, that's fine then. And... Okay. I mean, I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm still working with some very low health, but... I guess I'm just gonna have to see how this goes. I could really use a shop right now. I think that's the #1 thing that would help me out here. Just the ability to maybe get something for that damage reduction. Saving up a lot of money, though, too, is probably going to be important because this is a, like, almost base level version of the IceCrossbow right now. Oh, God, really? Okay, good. Just blast them with all of my heaviest weaponry, and worked. That's good. But again, I'm gonna die if I get hit by, like, anything. So, this is a curse chest. Like, I would put the odds at yes. No, I meant to hit the other thing. Okay. 1 and 2. No. I'm gonna stick with a little bit of extra survival. Remember when I was gonna go full survival? I think those days are kind of over now. This is just not the time to do it. Out-damaging my enemies is going to be better than having, you know, not very good survival and not very good tactics in endgame. I don't know. Pretty much I'm just waiting for a shop at this point. Just, come on. Big shops, no wins. Whatever. What is... Oh, he hit himself off the edge. I don't even... That's fine. That's okay. He somehow punched himself off the edge of that. Good going, Golem. You almost got me killed there, so I suppose it wasn't that bad of a strategy, but still, you're kind of freaking me out here. Ugh. And I would really like to see more weapons have this sort of gimmickry with it. Even though I don't think... Like, this run isn't quite convincing me to use the IceCrossbow all that much more, but I still think the concept is really solid. I would love the... I think that what I would really like to see is rather having it based on time, have it based on like a button input, or maybe have it be that it transforms into a completely different weapon when you hold down the button. Like, it transforms from ice mode to crossbow mode, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, waiting for something to go you don't have to worry about having that really long wind-up time, because suddenly you can just do it when you're out of battle, and that'll make a lot more sense. I think that's why it was kind of... The idea, at least, was sort of perfected with Nerves of Steel for me compared to the IceCrossbow, because that one... Not only does it do a lot more damage, which, I mean... Hey. It also feels a lot more natural to use. It's something that I would probably preferably use in a lot of cases. Half as much damage is also just not helping its case. So that's something too. I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you did have any sort of permanent transformation, that really would be a lot closer to how it works in Bloodborne, which, you know, obviously with this game having rally, very active sort of battle system, that's clearly... This is going to be a curse chest. That's clearly what I think a lot of the inspiration was in this game, so they should just go full on there. Wear your references on sleeve. Curse chest, let's go. Oh, gonna have to make sure that I don't screw anything up here, but I feel good. I feel confident, for the time being at least. I guess we'll see. I think number one thing that I would like to see that would use the same sort of mechanic would be a ranged weapon turning into a melee weapon and vice versa. They had a very cool sort of concept in Dungreed with that I think I showed in the chapter 2.5 video, which was a umbrella that you would open up to have it transform into a gun. Ew, maybe not. All right, and cool. I'll take it. Also, I do think that... No, I'm already uncursed, so that's... Oh, do I want to blow a potion charge right now, though? That's the real question. I mean, it's either that or I'm probably going to die, so I guess I'm going to blow the potion charge. Oh my god, do I need that damage reduction right now. Okay, okay. That'll work. Yeah, let's do it, let's do it. I'm already not feeling confident in this run. Maybe I can just blitz everything down fast enough that it won't even matter. I don't know, maybe. Probably not. But yeah, I'd take an umbrella weapon in this game. Alright. Other than that, what other sort of weapons? Maybe something that could be transformed between a skill and like an actual weapon. You know, like it fires out. Oh, you know something that would be interesting? The throwing knives, transforming back and forth between like knife dance and... Oh, that was very close. Transforming back and forth between like knife dance and a proper weapon. Yeah, give it to me. Did these both reduce malaise? I'll have to keep that in mind if I happen to get any more. I think I'll probably be okay, and I should hit up the clock tower. It's been a little while since that. Something that switches between a sword and a shield. Something that switches between damage reduction and dealing damage. There's a lot of cool options, I think. A lot of sort of counter, you know, things that complement each other, that are similar but at the same time different. There's some good ideas there, I think. And hey, they already got it kind of programmed into the game. I mean, stuff like what do you call it? Hunter's Grenade. That actually leaves your inventory after you throw it. So you can get a similar sort of concept, like if you hold it down long enough, for example, if you're talking to a character. I meant to talk to character. I don't even... Like, what was I doing? What did I do? Yeah, well, like this sort of thing. Why did I do that? Am I stupid? Anyway, well, whatever. I still got 3 charges on the potion. Wow, though. Man, that could not have been more the wrong button. Oh, I should have saw how much damage that was doing compared to the IceCrossbow. Because if that did less than 6285, that would be just absolute insanity. And I also kind of question how accurate that is because of... the damage per second. I mean, you don't fire that off every second. You have to charge it up, and I don't really know how the game calculates that, to be honest. Oh, wait. Should have gotten that. There was a teleporter right to the left of me. Should have gotten that first before coming up here. Whoops. Oh, getting too distracted now. I've diverted all my brain power to figuring out dumb idea guy weapons for that Motion Twin could implement into the game. Ah, just get him frozen. Whatever. I don't even care. That's fine. Poisons the enemy, etc., etc. Nah. If it was damage reduction, that would be worth taking, but nah. 22 tactics is not bad at this point. I mean, I suppose that would have also scaled with tactics, but it's also a shield. I guess shields counted the Timekeeper pretty well, especially that one in particular, but that doesn't really feel like the... This doesn't really feel like the sort of run that would benefit too much from that. There we are. That combination still works. I mean, you know, that's also another thing where if you have enough damage, you're gonna kill anything very quick, regardless of the weapon. Way back in the day, I'm talking like a vanilla version of Dead Cells. That was how you did it. I cannot believe that I managed to avoid that. That was kind of crazy. You pretty much just stacked up as much... Ah, gotcha. Alright. And now... Oh, okay, well, didn't even need to do that then. Yeah, you stacked up as much strength as possible, and even the worst weapons would turn... Yeah, I'll take it. And even the worst weapons would turn into amazing killing machines. I'm talking like your, not sure. I think I'm having brain problems right now. Anyway. Where am I even going? Yeah, I missed the teleporter. Alright. Oh, yeah, I can take you down. Forgot that you were right here. I just didn't want to fight you at the time. Okay. How would you take as inflict my... That's fine. Much rather have the money right now. There are so many things that I could be upgrading. Good. Ooh. I'm always worried when I start charging this thing up that it's going to go too slowly for me to actually get off a shot into the enemies. I suppose another thing that this does have as an advantage over something like the heavy crossbow is that it does benefit from the plus 20% critical damage. So that's, you know, that's something that could potentially give it more damage, but it would have to be a bit closer in its normal damage anyway, first. I don't know. I'm also really not really liking how my stats here. I would either like to get a whole lot more tactics, or I guess since I'm working with a colorless weapon, a whole lot more survival. Also should dump off alienation. If there comes a circumstance where that would actually be useful at this point in the game, I don't think I would want to use it. Like that would be a restart the run sort of situation. If that came up. Having to break down a golden door in the castle or something. I mean, at that point, I would probably be pretty close to being dead from... Almost got me. Didn't say the magic word. Oh, yeah, that works. I mean, that did happen in one kind of recent-ish run, if I remember, but I don't remember which one that was. And I didn't like doing it at the time either. Hail Mary from across the field sort of play. Oh, come on, that wasn't enough. It's a good thing that I was ready to dodge. Ah, explosion nearly screwed me. Alright. Unlike working with a lot of... Oh, yeah, there you go. Another good example of a weapon that does a lot of small hits that I would not take over a weapon... Ah, come on. That does just one big one. I don't know. What do you got here? What do you got here? Something that works well? Nah. Well, maybe the double... Well, it's not even upgraded, so nah. Might have to blow a potion charge, because if I get caught in a combination... If I get caught in the Timekeeper's rhythm... Ah, that was close. If I get caught in the Timekeeper's rhythm and she manages to get me in a 3-hit combo with her broadsword, I will be done. I don't have a heart anymore, after all. That's really the only reason why you can play very fast and loose with tactics runs, because you know that you'll at least have one more shot, and you'll likely... Just talking about getting rid of alienation, I completely forgot that, that's right, there is a guaranteed curse chest in this place, and I'm kind of down on health. So, let the good times roll, I guess. Time to be very careful. Yep, I stayed off. Oh. What? Just stop it! What's even hitting me? What's even throwing? Stop throwing stuff at this point. Okay. Just like, take it nice and slow. Ain't no need to rush. No more time doors, anything you can be getting. Just calm, cool, and collected. Cool. Oh, that bombardier did see me. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. He's definitely not going to see me now. Or he's going for my turrets. Whatever. That'll take out the turrets up here. Oh, a little bit of a lower door down there. Are you kidding me? Fine. I can do this manually. What's in the lower door this time? Oh, just the floating swords. I've seen that way too much. Can't use those swords. They're too large. That is not true at all. And another non-upgraded one. Unupgraded. Good. And I'm up to full health. So it all worked out in the end. I am not even going to risk jumping into that spike. That feels like a very bad idea, even if I'm pretty sure I can make it. Okay. Something I didn't really realize, but my IceCrossbow does not have plus 100% on a burning target. I gotta go change that up soon enough. I suppose I can also potentially get a... Frozen? And burning? Yeah. I like that. I guess I was hoping that I was going to get an upgrade for the weapon sooner than later, but that just didn't really happen. Okay, good. I've had that roll not work once, and it just turned me off of it. Except in the most dire of circumstances. But really, that is the way that you should be getting off of that area. Let's go. I think that I'm just gonna probably want to use the crossbow to keep her frozen as much as possible. And then see what I can get with that. Enemies will thaw more slowly. That's good enough. I think that's actually good enough. So, let's take this, this, and this. That way I won't have to worry about accidentally dying stupidly to traps later on. Because I can feel it. Feel it in my bones. That that's going to be a thing that happens in the castle. Obviously not here, but I don't know, man. We'll see. Timekeeper. Get up nice and close to me, and we'll do this. She's going to hit the turret. Ah, yeah, right. The turret blocks it. Don't forget. Alright, well, it's not going too bad. And that the turret will, again, block the thing. Oh, no. Oh, I knew if I got caught in a rhythm, like I said. Okay, Malaise is getting a little up there. Oh, and she is not taking any more. Freezing. She's refusing to be frozen. That's cool. Just, gotta take it nice and sleazy. Okay, there we go. Not the best fight I've ever had. Not terrible. Could be worse. 4,000, 9,000 damage if I... Nah, it's not worth it. That's fine. She really got resistance to that a lot quicker than I thought she was going to. I'll say that right now. Ooh, it's not giving me confidence for the hand fight. I'm not feeling. I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. I'm not feeling very good. I hope I get some incredible weapon here in the castle to kind of replace the heavy crossbow and see if I can do something with that. Well, I guess I might as well go for the double tracker fight. It's not like I have a particularly bad build for this or anything. Okay, that'll work. Really, I just want to avoid... Yeah, alright. Really, I just want to avoid accidentally rolling into that, which one of the runs you didn't see in the... One of the runs you didn't see in the knife dance video had that happen, where I died to that. Cool, and... I was kind of hoping for legendary, to be honest. But that works. With the ice bow. Yeah, funny thing, I don't know if I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but it used to be that when you tap this, it would fire off extremely fast. We're talking, like, you could do it once per frame, sort of fast. They changed that pretty quickly, and it was never a particularly good way to do damage or anything, but the fact that you could fire off extremely quickly was kind of amusing. I think you could probably find that in my original showcase run I did of the weapon. It's like, it was definitely something that was not intended, even if it didn't really have too much effect on gameplay. Sort of like how back in the day you could, jump on, you could enter doors from the top, which would occasionally glitch out and then make you, like, slide really fast to the left or right in a way that I could never really reproduce, but always tried to. It was super amusing. It was like playing Mega Man, where you go through the shutter doors like that. Come on, right on the edge there. Don't push this guy, because he's close to the edge of my shot. Goodbye. I'm gonna try it. 2, 1, let's see what we got going on here. Heavy crossbow bolt, for sure. Poison has no effect. There's a lot of extra health, potentially. The projectile damage could be good against the hand, but I'm gonna see what happens. And what happens will hopefully be me not getting hit more. I do have a surprising amount of health for what's allegedly a tactics run, so that's a questionable play on my part, but what am I gonna do now, you know? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, at least ice is good for taking out the... Oh. Malaise. That's good for taking out the Guardian Knights, at least. 16 extra health, I guess. Man, this is weird. Didn't really expect this to also halfway turn into a heavy crossbow run, but playing with the cards that have been dealt to me, I guess. I'm still getting a lot of use out of the ice part of the ice crossbow, if nothing else. And I am trying to use it as much as... Really? 2 in that short of a time? That was weird. Should remember that you can duck while using these weapons. Can you duck while using... Yeah, you can duck while using the heavy crossbow, too. Oh! Didn't realize I was right on the edge of that. Well, he was right on the edge of my shot, and now was right on the... Well, not risking that anymore. Thank God for the thaw. Alright, alright, alright. Oh, I can make this a themed run around weapons you get from the Timekeeper, but I feel like that's not really something that would make any sense at all. I don't even know why I suggested it. 3 keys? Hey girl, you know I'd like to get 3 keys. Oh, roll out of it. Cool. 846 versus 853. And is anything better? They're really about the same. Let's go, yeah, let's go 3 keys. Okay, 2 shots and quite a bit of wind-up time to get that cooking. But at the same time, that's okay. Okay. Alright, that's okay. I'm starting to get a little turned around by this, but I don't know. It's still... I feel like I would much, in a lot of these cases that I'm trying to use the critical attack of the ice crossbow, I think I would much rather just use the heavy crossbow that I'm working with. Like, look at that. That takes him out in 1 hit. You have to be pretty close, but... I don't know. I'm not sold, you understand? Spreads inflammable oil, though. But not plus 100% on burning. It's not worth it. What else do you have for me? Anything of interest? Perhaps. It's got good, good synergies, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not even upgraded either. I've got enough money to keep re-rolling here. Minus 25% damage when you're near it. You are on my team now. Welcome to the club. The club. Bottle full of bub. Hi. No, I lost it. I lost it. Whatever stupid reference I was trying to make. Give me that right now. Oh, that was close. Alright, I got all 3 keys. Let's get out of here. There's nothing else that I really have to do. I just have no idea where the exit is, as per usual when it comes to... No, this isn't the time to take that. It would probably be a little bit more effective on the hand. He's not going to be able to block it, and he's not going to push it out the edge, but that's fine. I feel like that damage reduction, as well as the basic... Good. As well as the basic synergies that I'm working with right now is going to be more effective in the end anyway. Nah, that's fine. Let's go with this. Let's go for maximum damage and get out of here and see how this train wreck goes. I'm excited. I'm not really that excited. I don't think this is going to go very well at all. Ooh. Didn't get that, I want to keep that Trail of Flames. I guess? I mean, I'm probably not going to be using it too much in this upcoming battle anyway, but I don't know. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So what are the actual stats I'm working with? 9,000 health, that's pretty good. And 14,000 if I can get the critical on the ice crossbow, 26,000 if I decide to use the heavy crossbow. Enemies will thaw more slowly, still pretty good. Extra critical damage, slow down, lasts 4 times longer. I guess I'm gonna work mostly with it as ice damage and then kinda hope my turrets do the rest, I guess. With Tough Nut, I can kind of live in the spike pit if I want to. Try to avoid attacks, but I don't know if I would recommend it. But it is a thing that I can do. That huge damage pool's doing me pretty good, but did you see what just happened? Hey. Cool. Oh! That was before that animation even started.